That night, across the ocean, in a small village where the ocean and sky converge, great mountains rising from the depths create a paradise, a place of sand, trees, and the endless sound of the ocean challenging the mountain's domain. The village is on an outlying island where the people live in peace with the land and sea. Harmony in subsistence is their way of life. The peace of the night is broken on this side of the island. Inside the hut built for pregnant women, Lana screams as the child demands his birth. The midwife Paloma happens to be Lana's mother. Paloma, a gentle woman, guides her daughter's labor with the birth of her first child. Gently reassuring Lana as the child and mother pound on death's door to bring another soul into the world. With a final push and scream, the baby is born. At this moment, a loud boom rattles the peaceful island. Paloma gathers the child and brings him to Lana. Lana speaks softly, holding the boy. Amanaki, you are my hope. Anaru, Lana's devoted husband, paces anxiously at hearing his wife's pain. He walks a path back and forth in front of the hut, for men are not allowed to enter the hut. His mind is a mess of thoughts, filled with gratitude from when he fled to these islands, for the people who allowed him, a foreigner, a place in their village when his boat was tattered and full of arrows, fleeing the cannibalistic tribes to the north, fighting with his spear of power. And now he's expecting his first child to teach the way. Here he found peace far away from the path of war and his father's bloody legacy. A crash of thunder threatens to destroy the island and split the sea as he hears his wife Lana scream once more. He is torn between duty and family. He chooses duty. This is the way. And runs to the elders to see what enemy dared attack them. There is no time to retrieve his ancestral spear. The elders are gathered in the great hall, far from Paloma's birthing hut by the sea. As Anaru runs to meet with the elders in the war council, ash begins to fall from the sky, pummeling his face. He sees a group of warriors gathered, tightly gripping their spears as they stand outside the hut. Afi, one of the warriors who has never trusted him, glares at him as he speaks. Is this your tribe coming to attack us? A red glow lightens up the night. They look to the sacred peak to see a serpent of red twisting down the slopes toward their village. The elders see the serpent. We must evacuate now. To the ships. Gather the people. Go! Go! Doom fills their hearts. Each man scatters, running from hut to hut, evacuating the village and fleeing to the canoes on the ocean. Anaru dashes to Paloma's birthing hut. His wife is lying in a pool of red. His son, the hope for a peaceful way of life, lies still in his mother-in-law Paloma's arms. Paloma silently cries while holding the child and shakes her head when her eyes finally meet with Anaru's. Stricken with disbelief, he leaps to Lana's side, clutching her tightly and weeping into her dark hair. She does not move. No breath of life. No steady beats of her heart. She grows cold in his embrace. Paloma steps out of the hut with the baby to give Anaru a final moment with Lana. Tanu, one of the young warriors from the council, sees the torch outside the hut as he makes his way to the sea. Seeing Paloma emerge holding a new baby, he stops. He grabs her shoulder. We must leave to the sea at once. The ash sticks to her tears. Paloma turns back to the hut, lifting the entrance flap and yelling, Anaru, you must come now before your life is lost too. He cannot hear anything, feel anything, or hear anything over his sorrow-filled sobs as his heart splits in two. Lana and his son were his everything, his future, his purpose, the keys to a peaceful, happy life. Thinking his son is gone too, He has nothing left to hope for. Paloma dragged by Tanu to the sea with the swaddled boy. He helps her into the last canoe. Afi is on the boat watching the shore for any stragglers. He notices Paloma and the boy she carries. This child spawned this omen of disaster upon us. Paloma spins and shouts at him, You believe my grandson brought about this disaster? Afi fires back, He was born on the night this disaster befell us, bringing in the red serpent. His father is a foreigner. The gods are punishing us for the birth of his demon child. The men push off and row the boat as the sails are positioned to catch the trade winds. Realizing Anaru is missing, Paloma turns to Afi and asks, What about Anaru? Afi spits as he yells, The father of this demon child can greet the serpent they brought upon us. The men murmur their agreement. Paloma pulls her grandson closer to her, wrapping her shawl around him, fearing these men will throw him into the sea. The serpent creates fire across the island. It leaves nothing but char and ash behind. The people weep as they see everything they have known burned into ash. The people sail to a neighboring island, floating through the night to reach it. A young boy helping his father get his fishing lines ready is the first to see them on the horizon. He stands shocked. His father yells, Run to get Alipate. Tell him a war party is upon us. The boy turns and runs up the beach to the chief's hut. The boy bursts into his hut yelling, Alipate, a warring party is at our shores. Alipate doesn't hesitate, seeing the look of fear and shock on the child's face. The chief grabs his conch shell and walks out the door. Conch shell to his lips, one long blow, followed by 3 short blows. Yelling out, Meet me at the shore, my brothers. War is upon us. Rushing to the shore, Alipate sees his dear friend Paloma with the child. Relief fills his heart. There will be no death upon their shores this day. He turns to the gathered men who have spears pointed at the group of refugees. It's all right, men. These people are not our enemies. The men back up and lower their spears. Alipate walks to the ship and helps Paloma descend. Scanning the faces behind her, searching for Lana and Anaru. Lana is nowhere to be seen. Anaru is not there among the men at the oars. Paloma's face is covered in ash with streaks of tears. His shoulders slump at the meaning of those tears on a woman full of strength. His wife, Mahina, comes down to the beach and places her arms around her dear friend Paloma. I see you have a child and nothing to feed him with. Paloma, holding the crying boy, looks down, choking back more tears, and shakes her head no. Our homes have been destroyed by the fire serpent. I have lost my daughter to bleeding after childbirth, and I fear this child's father has given in to despair and was swallowed by the fire serpent. Mahina hugs her again from the side, guiding her. Then come with me, my friend. My niece recently lost her own infant son and her husband. We will see to you living with them. She lives a little bit outside the village. I fear for her living alone with the sorrows tormenting her. Something good may come from this tragedy. The refugee elders meet with the chief Alipate. The men speak and decide how to accommodate the refugees into their village and what food needs to be distributed among them. In the council, Afi barges in, breaking decorum. That boy is a bad omen from the gods. He was born as a red fire serpent came upon us. This serpent wants him. He is a demon child, born from a foreigner. The child must be destroyed. Alipate has seen many seasons and has the wisdom to see the dark side of superstition. Alipate tries to dissuade Afi. An innocent child cannot be blamed for the fire serpent. His wife had already come to a decision when she saw her friend and a child without a mother. Paloma and her grandson will live with Ana. She has lost her son and husband recently. This baby must receive milk to live. Afi, in shock and disbelief, slams the wooden end of his spear on the floor. and storms out of the hut's entrance, face red in fury. This child is a demon spawn, brought to us in a disaster by a foreigner. Nothing good will come from this. Alipate sighs, and the men continue with the details of integrating the tribes to become one tribe.